If you're a little overweight, not nearly as good looking as you used to be, join the club and welcome in to another edition, a hump day edition of the Breaking Bread radio program right here on Birmingham's Real Talk, Talk 99.5, coming to you today live, as always, from the Redland Rifle Studio, located in the palatialness that is Redland Rifle Company, Highway 280. If you're looking for a piece, for some peace of mind, swing on by and say hello to the folks at Redland Rifle Co. Long guns, short guns, accessories, suppressors.
All the things.
All the things.
All the things you could need for your Second Amendment needs.
Yes.
If you need things for those needs.
Yes.
So
we have solutions.
We do. You got problems, we got solutions. We even have solutions for problems you don't have.
Yeah.
So come on.
We can keep your problems from needing solutions.
That's true. Stop them right dead in their tracks.
Yeah, we can make sure that your problem never needs another solution.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're missing out if you're not here.
Yeah. Be here or be square.
True story.
Yep. Today's show brought to you by the fine folks at Vapor Forge, Highway 280, next to Bailey Brothers Music. Really just a choked down 8-iron if the wind conditions are proper. Once again, great selection, great prices, great service, super knowledgeable staff. If you smoked cigarettes for way too long like I did and you tried everything else to quit, you just weren't ready. But if you're ready now and you just need a little something to do with your hands or you just need the sensation of something filling your lungs, go get a vape from Vapor Forge. They also have Delta 8 and CBD and all that other stuff until they can't. They have a wonderful selection of smoking apparatus as well. All the information you could possibly need can be found at vaporforge.com. Tell me, man, the Chub Father sent you. Put down them cigarettes, man. They're going to kill you. They don't love you nearly as much as you love them, and they're way too expensive. We are super excited because today we have Parker. Who's Parker, you may ask?
The Parker.
The Parker.
Yeah.
So I didn't mention his last name.
One and only.
Because he's the only Parker you need to know.
I know. It's the only Parker I know.
He is the KelTec pusher. He's the KelTec plug.
He is the seller of all the KelTec things.
Yes.
And he's amazing at it.
He is.
Actually, he's a really good guy, too.
He is. Super nice.
I can't say enough good things about him.
I kind of thought for a minute like I'd be tired of talking to him after we talked for the first 10 minutes when he got here, but turns out we just decided to go ahead and bring him on the show since he was already here and had scheduled it and whatnot.
Yeah, he told me all kinds of things.
He has.
Now we need y'all to come buy those things.
Yes.
So he's got he's a wealth of knowledge about everything KelTec. I mean, he's absolutely awesome to talk to because he's excited about everything.
Right.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, we're not just kissing his butt because he, sells us all the things. We really do mean all that stuff. JD didn't say anything. I'm
sorry. I'm trying to get the.
I was expecting him to say yes, we do.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish up the stuff here because as per usual, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
AJ, what do you think the odds are that he has his questions prepared for Parker?
Well, obviously, he I think he's prepared, but he should already know what to say because he knows Parker, right?
He does.
He shouldn't have to write down any questions. Just have a conversation with the young man.
That's
absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
We will see.
Well, we're going to definitely test that out real quick as we keep things moving real quick. CrockerMovingServices.com, CrockerMovingServices.com. Great moving company. When I tell you, when you want a very professional, to really get you to point A to point B and do it efficiently while making sure yourself is well taken care of, hey, you need to reach out to the moving professionals. It's CrockerMovingServices.com, CrockerMovingServices.com. Go check out that veteran-owned company. Well, since we do have Parker in studio, I thought today will be a good day. And we're going to see how ready JD is when we do the questions, because it's time for...
I got a little time.
Things.
Yes, five things, because we want you to know a little bit more about Parker and KelTec. Now, Parker, there is no wrong answer, but whatever answer you may give us, you know, may get a little laugh or we may joke or crack a little something on you. But you know what?
Lord.
No wrong answers over here.
We
So,
do hope you
are
say
you
something
ready?
stupid.
I'm ready.
You're ready. All right, I'm going to go ahead and throw out the first one because I want to make
gosh.
sure this question gets asked. So, Parker, how did it feel? One of my favorite movies is John Wick. And we already know where I'm probably going out with this one because I feel like that really helped put you guys on the map, even though you guys already come out with some great lineups with the gun. But that shotgun KSG that y'all have being featured, and I think other guns were featured in that movie. How did it feel to see your weapons being used by John Wick himself?
That was a pretty cool experience to see Keanu jump up on the hood of a Suburban and blast out the windshield with a KSG shotgun. It didn't get much better than that. I remember looking to my wife, and she was in the left side of me at the theater, and I was like, holy crap, like that's right there in the middle of the movie. So really, really cool experience.
Part two of that, how did that connection come? How did that connection come about?
So that's actually was completely natural. We work with a lot of guys and gals over in Hollywood, and we basically go through and supply them with all of our firearms, and they put them out in a selection. That wasn't something we paid for or jockeyed for. That was a natural process. So it was pretty humbling to see it right there on the silver screen.
That's awesome. Since JD's doing stuff at this moment, I'll go next. So, do you like fried chicken?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh God.
In order for fried chicken, now we're talking about the classic definition of fried chicken. Like if you go to grandma's house and she makes you fried chicken after Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
Does said fried chicken need to have a bone in it to be considered fried chicken? Or if you came to your grandmother's house for Sunday dinner and she said, I'm making y'all fried chicken, baby, and then you got there and it was a bunch of chicken tenders that were fried, would you still think she was serving you fried chicken?
No, those are tenders. Fried chicken has got to have the bone in to be like legitimate fried chicken.
There it is.
All right.
Half and half.
Whoa.
No follow-up.
Wait a minute.
No follow-up needed to this question. JD, go ahead.
I mean, it's chicken. It's fried. I don't care.
Thank
Just
you.
call it fried
Thank you.
chicken, so
Thank you.
I don't care if
Thank
it's
you.
got a bone in it or not.
But like the Publix though, chicken with no bone, like those are unbelievable chicken tenders.
They are deliciously fried
There's
chicken
still
tenders.
chicken and they're still fried.
That's true.
I mean,
Thank you.
So
that they are fried.
I don't think that. I think Will and you may be the only two on earth that actually. Don't
No,
think
actually,
fried tenders-
actually, every single person that we've asked that has come on this show believes that there needs to be a bone in it for it to be called fried chicken.
Well, okay. Let me go ahead. Parker, I'm sorry that you got in the middle of this, but
Hold up, man, that's my question. I asked the
no,
question.
I get
got
it,
the
but
answer.
see, the question was kind of leading on. You were
Well, that's-
leading him to say yes.
No, that's the original way I asked the question the very first time I asked.
Because the question that was posed first, because you answered the question, but when I posed it first, I said, does fried chicken have that bone in it in order to be considered be called fried chicken, right?
Yes, and
The
you
point
asked the
of the matter
question-
is-
you asked the question that way after I asked the question originally the way that I just asked it to Parker. And you got an answer that was unacceptable, so you began changing the way that the question was asked. Look,
No,
it's all. I got the receipts.
Look, I'm glad we got Parker here for this. This
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, let's not bicker. Let's let JD
All right,
ask this
JD.
question.
If you could design your own gun, what would it be?
Like seriously, or
Yeah.
like as a funny?
There's no wrong or right answer.
Yeah.
There's no wrong answer.
Well, I'll tell you. A couple SHOT shows ago, when you just see lever guns all over the place, I thought it would be fantastic to release like a KelTec 6-lever gun, because everybody thinks that we're just crazy over here making designs. I was like, yeah, we could have like 2 levers on the side, 2 on the top.
And then put it in
And then put it out there in the-
rotating Gatling gun.
Yes,
sort of- I
exactly. And
got
everybody would be like, oh gosh, here
Yeah.
comes KelTec again. So there's my answer to that
you.
question.
Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that.
AJ,
All right, my question now, if And fried chicken. No, I was playing. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to you. All right. Okay. So, obviously, you probably shot a lot of guns, obviously, from KelTec, obviously. But what's your favorite place to go shoot?
Oh, I would say at my family's ranch in southwest Montana, or a new favorite place would be out at our new factory in Rock Springs, Wyoming. Those are some pretty bad to the bone places to shoot.
Can we go
Nice.
shoot at your new manufacturing place in Wyoming?
I think they like open the door out there and shoot. Like it's that wide.
We
open.
actually make that joke. It's
Right?
like, hey,
Like, it's
why
so
do we
wide
need
open,
to test
right?
fire them inside? You just stick it out the door and shoot into the
into the snowbanks.
into the snowbanks.
The year-round snowbanks.
Actually, I told that joke to the sheriff out there in Sweetwater County, and he didn't like that very much because their office is like right down the street. So he's like, "Please don't do that, Parker."
All right, well, fine. You'll never see my six shooter lever gun.
That's right. That's right.
All right, Will.
Are you a fan of hot dogs? Are you a hot dog fan?
Only fried hot dogs.
Only fried hot dogs.
No. Yes, I'm a hot dog fan.
What's your favorite toppings for a hot dog? Like what's the perfect hot dog for you?
So for me, it's just straight up mustard.
Okay.
That's it. Or you could call them like, was it in New York? They call them dirty water dogs. The ones where just scoop them out. The bun's just nice and steamed. Hot dog, mustard. That's it.
Nice. Very acceptable.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Nothing at all.
Pretty classic.
All right. How long did it take once you got into the family to start working at KelTec proper?
No, I would say, let's see, how long I've been doing it now? 12 years, 12 or 13 years. I was doing my own gig outside, working in the auto world for many, many years. And then father-in-law called me up and said, hey, you want to do this, for us? I was like, well, I'm not going to turn my father-in-law down.
Well, hell yeah.
I'd be an idiot
I mean,
to do that. So,
did he come with that KSG shotgun and say, "Hey, do you want to work for me?"
Actually, a funny KSG story real quick. So when my wife and I got married, that was back in 2011. So right when the KSG came out, he gave me a little gift certificate for one free KSG at our wedding. And then this was like number 5 ever produced. Takes me down to our range in Florida, and he loads it up with just slugs and all kinds of crazy stuff. And man, my whole arm was just blue after I shot it with him. And his Swedish accent, he just was laughing at me the whole time. So that was my first KSG experience.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That is absolutely fantastic.
It is awesome. Hey, better your shoulder blue.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm going to leave it at that because I'll be a professional today. Birmingham Broker bringing you this portion of today's show. If you're looking to get out of your current ride and into something else like a fat check, don't go to the car dealership and get lowballed, and don't meet somebody you don't know in a dark alleyway and not return home to your family. They don't want that. After all you're trying to do is get as much as you can so you can move on to the next ride. This is what you do. You go to bhambroker.com, fill out some information, have a consultation, come to an agreement, hand them the keys, maybe go to the range, pop off a couple rounds out of your favorite KelTec, and Birmingham Broker will sell your car and sell your car fast so you don't have to. All the information that you need can be gathered at bhambroker.com, bhambroker.com. Tell Craig and Keith that the Breaking Bread crew sent you, and we would be mighty grateful. So, that.
Back in a flash.
Flash.
You're listening to Breaking Bread on Talk 9.
Listen, with all this rain that's come through in the last few days, if you've got some leakage, you could call me, but I make cheeseburgers for a living. If I were you, I'd reach out to the roofing professionals at Noto Roofing because Noto knows roofing. Noto roofing.com. And Noto Roofing, they're just damn good people.
Yeah, they are.
They're just damn good people. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if you tell them the Breaking Bread crew sent you, they'll get up on the roof and give you a free roof inspection and tune-up. What's a free tune-up? That means if there's a nail that's coming loose in your shingle or whatever, they're just going to tap it back down. You know, they're not going to, like, hey, throw me up a box of shingles. I had to fix. No, it's not like that. But if you've got minor issues that they can take care of while they're there, just on the love, they'll do that. Do business with good people. Good people is Noto Roofing, Noto roofing.com. Here today with Parker from KelTec. We love family-owned businesses here on this program. Mom and pops, if you will. You can take it further than that. We love the American dream and the entrepreneurial spirit. And all of those things are encapsulated in the brand that is KelTec. And let me just give you your flowers real fast. With all the tariff stuff and everything that's left this country, you guys have spent more money to do it in the USA and to do it the right way. And from a red-blooded American patriot, I appreciate that very much.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're
It
welcome.
can't be easy, but
It's very difficult.
but
It is very difficult.
it's
but
not
we
always
do it.
easy to do the right thing.
That's right.
But is that what separates you from all the other gun manufacturers that's out there right now?
No, I would definitely say that's a huge separation factor. I mean, not only that are we made in America through and through, but then also we've got an immigrant who came to America and started this operation, and it's just my mother-in-law, a Cuban anchor baby, coming over here, their family creating what they've created. I mean, it doesn't get much more American than what we do each and every day. So
That's just,
That's so cool.
it is so cool.
Yeah.
And there are so many brands that just would love to drape themselves in the American flag and then just talk out of both sides of their face.
Especially in the gun industry.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, when we bring in firearms, it's interesting because all these manufacturers that you usually associate that have been around since Columbus got here.
Right.
You could see where they're all coming from.
oh yeah,
Right. It has to be on the firearm. You're like, oh yeah, okay, gotcha, Turkey, gotcha, Croatia, gotcha, wherever. It's
Yep.
not y'all stuff.
nope.
Cocoa, Florida.
Made in Cocoa, Florida, and then now in Rock Springs, Wyoming. So it doesn't get much more American than that.
No, it does not.
That's
No.
awesome.
It doesn't. Right.
But I would
tell you-
love just to hear like the just how it just came about. How did KelTec just begin? I know that's a fascinating story,
Yeah,
but
so,
we can't talk about getting to it right now
Right.
because we got to take this break. We
No,
got to
not
do
a
it on the other
problem.
side.
You fine people are listening to the Breaking Bread radio program right here on Birmingham's Real Talk 99.5 and worldwide at breakingbreadradio.com. Join the live streams, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
Tell your mom about it.
Tell your mama and them. I think she's fine.
The following is furnished by Excel Media.
guess the theme for today, is clearly turning into the American dream and the entrepreneurial spirit and the celebrations of all things just awesome. And before we go any further, Miss Meredith Williams, I know you're listening. Your husband, Bobby Williams, would like to make sure that you know how much he loves you and how wonderful you are, and hopes that you guys have a fantastic 25th wedding anniversary. He's very grateful, and he really wants to make sure that you give him another 25 years at least. So congratulations to the two of you guys on
congratulations.
25 years
Congrats.
of marriage, Bobby and Meredith Williams.
We got to give him one.
All right, hanging out here with Parker from.
Before you, I'm sorry, I wanted to say that's the only type of life I would want, not the other life. 25 years of life. I would rather have 25 years to marriage with someone special. So congratulations to that.
Absolutely, it's and it's crazy to think about. Mine, it'll be 25 years for Stephanie and I, August the 21st. So it's.
Amy and I've been together 15, 16 years, 15, something like that.
Heck yeah.
15 years.
And AJ, you and G y'all are year 7 now, year 8 on the marriage part?
Yes. 2018 was when we tied the knot.
Okay. I knew we were getting hell, Parker, while we're at it. How long you and your wife been married?
We just hit 14 years.
Oh, congratulations.
16, so.
Man, congratulations, man.
It's an accomplishment in today's world.
Yep.
Having a person beside you in the foxhole that is willing to just go to battle with you each and every single day. And our parents, my parents, had they both lived, I think they would have celebrated their 60th this year. They made it to 45, I believe, before my dad passed.
Amy's last year we celebrated their 50th anniversary.
That's so awesome.
Amy's parents, yeah.
You're just bombarded that there's just so many more outer influences now than there were when our parents were at the same stage of marriage. There's just so much additional negative outside influence that 5, 10, 15, 20, it's an accomplishment.
Oh yeah,
it's an accomplishment. So
it really is.
Congratulations to all of us and the women who love us, because we know that they're really the lucky ones. You notice nobody disagreed with me. I was just the one who said it.
The truth hurts sometimes.
JD had his wife cutting grass on Mother's Day.
Look, you got to do what you got to do.
Hey,
barefoot.
But the steak was good.
Hey, the steak was good.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, sometimes, hey, look, I can't do all the things. You want me to cook dinner? That's fine.
Yep.
If it makes you feel better, I remember when I came on board with the family business, and the first thing out of Vivica's mouth was, "Now I can officially fire you."
That's
wow.
awesome.
I was like, well, okay, there we go.
In other words, I know how to keep you in your place now.
Yes.
Don't make me fire you, Parker.
Yeah. Hey, listen, for the right family, sign me up, I'm just saying. KelTec made in America. What year were you guys founded?
So we go back to 1994, but the story goes back a little bit before then. So remember, George Kellgren, our owner, founder, chief designer, immigrated over here back in 1976.
Right.
With Interdynamic from Sweden. He's a Swedish immigrant. Came through, and when he was designing guns down in Miami with Interdynamic, that's when he released and rolled out the KG-9, which you all know and turned into the Tech-9.
Tech-9.
Met my mother-in-law, who was a Cuban anchor baby down in Miami. They started having children and said, hey, look, we want to get out of Miami. Let's do our own thing. So he sold off his shares, walked away, and then moved up to Rockledge, Florida. So if you look on your map, that's about 45 minutes or so southeast of Orlando. And that's when he created Grendel firearms, if you go back in the 80s. And then in the 90s, early 90s, when the assault weapons ban came out.
Boo.
Exactly. KelTec was a manufacturing subsidiary, CNC shop, precision machining of Grindle that he had created, and he pivoted everything to KelTec. And he'd always loved working with, Zytels and polymers and everything like that. And then when KelTec was official and Grindle was shut down, that's when he dropped the P11 and then the P380, the P32, and then we're off to the races from there.
Man, that's nuts. That's
It is.
really, really cool, though.
It is super cool. So you mentioned we were talking about Cubanos for a minute. And I don't want to veer too much.
I mean, it is a food show.
It is a food show.
Yeah.
So we're just tying things together,
Right.
if you would. Talk about the mother-in-law's Cuban sandwich.
Oh, it's the best. So like what we do is anytime I'm down there at the factory, we have lunch at a certain time, go home, and usually when I'm there, she'll make these Cuban sandwiches. Now I'm like 100 pounds more than everybody in the family. Like I'm a big guy. They're very small European fit size individuals in that household. And I remember I would show up and my brother-in-laws would have a half a sandwich. My father-in-law would have a half a sandwich, and she flipping would make me this foot-long homemade Cuban sandwich. And I was ready for KelTec nap time after that.
Right.
So, but no, it is a mean, real, no kidding Cuban sandwich.
So what you're saying is, like the guns, you're all American.
Oh yes, that's right.
Well, and I mean, the Cuban sandwich is about as American as it can get because it's not native to Cuba.
Well, it would have just been so hard to get that bread over here in the water.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it.
No, but listen, real French bread would have stayed crisp.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just saying, just like the bread we ate the other day at
Saigon.
Yeah, at Saigon.
That was so good.
Yeah,
They got some good bread over there.
they do.
Yeah.
They do.
You could have literally hopped in. You could have hollowed out the loaf, hopped in it, and grabbed yourself a paddle, and got to Miami, took it, and made a sandwich with it and pressed it, and it'd still have been crunchy.
Now, don't kill me here. I got to tell you a funny bread story. So the first date that Vivek and I went on, I took her to Dreamland downtown. Never been to Dreamland at all. They throw the whole loaf of white bread on the table. And that woman, I love her because she went through that whole loaf of bread with me in like freaking 5 minutes. And I said, you know what? I'm going to marry this woman
That's awesome.
right here.
So that's when you knew that's the wife.
Yep. And then she brought out fried chicken with bone in the fried chicken.
Let's go.
Oh,
Right
And
there.
she's like, this is the only kind of.
Let's
This is the only kind of fried chicken.
Gotcha.
So what about what's it called? Is it called paparellano? The ground chuck, the seasoned ground chuck
Yeah.
with the mashed potatoes around it, and it's deep fried.
The Cuban dish?
Yeah, isn't that called paparellano?
Yeah. Oh, Ruby's going to kill me if I don't know the answer to this question.
I think it is.
It is called
Just say
that.
yes.
I'm going to say yes.
We actually have her on the line.
Oh, well. Ruby, I promise you. No, I think that's right. I think that is correct. So it's either I go between Cuban sandwiches and picadillo,
Okay.
in which is like it's rice, ground beef, and then she sautés that with like onions and olives, and then does a fried egg on top.
Right.
Oh man, that's like crazy.
All of this sounds
man.
better than anything I've ever eaten.
I don't understand why just like Caucasians in general don't understand how awesome green olives are when sautéed with beef and onions and peppers.
I'm gonna give it
yeah.
a shot. I love olives.
It throws this little bit of pungentness in it that really just kind of cuts through the flavor and breaks it up a little bit for your palate.
I'm gonna find me a recipe.
Just make it here.
Yeah,
We do that.
Guns and picadillo.
we could do that. We made homemade Pop-Tarts last night.
That's not
on the
bad
show.
at all.
Yeah,
Did you really?
yeah, they were fantastic. They were so
AJ,
good.
That's
The
awesome.
I made the double stuffed cinnamon sugar, brown sugar and cinnamon Pop-Tart for the family last night. The big fans.
Yeah.
Big fans. Parker, just
I
to
bet
fill
they-
you in, we've been talking the last couple weeks about the Pop-Tart has released some new flavors.
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
curmudgeon when
Okay.
it comes to new things. Like I think the Pop-Tarts really only come in 3 flavors.
Yeah.
One of them's fried chicken.
Yeah. Yes. Bone in.
It has a bone in it too.
Yeah,
So
yes. right in the middle of the Pop-Tart. So it's kind of difficult. You got to eat it from the side.
Oh, jeez.
But
We're going to dinner after this?
yeah, right. It's been our philosophy that people don't want new flavors of Pop-Tarts. What they really want is less Pop-Tarts in the box, but for them to be double stuffed.
I could agree with that. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
And because nobody, for whatever reason to this point, has listened, we just made it our damn self. And it was
real good.
it was
Yeah,
pretty.
especially because we literally cooked it during the show in a what is that? What is that?
It was
No,
in the
toaster oven.
Yeah, the oyster
Toaster
toaster
Now,
oven.
if you could give
Yeah.
me a double stuffed strawberry.
I
Oh,
made one of
he
the-
did
I
it.
made-
He did.
He brought
He did?
that one
Oh,
with him. Yeah, and then, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
in a
good.
glass of cold milk.
Yeah, bro.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That thing went hard like Blue Chew. It was fantastic. Anyway, you guys have always been innovators in the gun industry, in KelTec. Talk about some of the new things that are coming down the pipe. Like, I really want to get my hands on one of these clipless. I'm not even
BBR
using the right
57,
words.
PR57.
Yeah, but tell us a little bit.
Yeah,
about
so
that.
back
And
in
also-
January. Oh, go ahead.
Can you add in like what y'all are doing out at Wyoming?
Yeah, so everything is headquartered down in Cocoa, Florida. And during the first DeSantis election, we decided, okay, look, as a family business, that was back before Florida went hardcore, pretty red. We said, look, we may want to diversify just a little bit. And we looked across the whole country, and then Governor Gordon and the whole entire team out in Wyoming, really just great people. And they said, look, I think we've got some cool stuff we could offer KelTec to come out to Wyoming. And that's how we went through and got into Rock Springs. And when we did that, George specifically wanted to go through and roll out the PR 57 at that facility. And that's, no mag, stripper I can't talk today, stripper clip fed. I could single load it from the top if I wanted. Like the ultimate everyday carry pistol is what he wanted to do. So that's how we did two manufacturing facilities. It's a smash hit. Like, I cannot make those guns fast enough. My oldest brother-in-law, Adrian, he goes through and heads up all of our production, and he and I are just duking it out all the time, every day. Like, I need more guns. And I got distributors and dealers and everybody saying, where are the guns? And I'm like, I'm getting them. Like, we're having to hire more people out there, get more machines and process. It's been just a really a smash hit on this pistol.
All right, now, how do they sell in Colorado?
Yeah, that's interesting. I had somebody bring that up to me the other day, and with the new laws that were passed out there with detachable magazines and semi-autos, there is no detachable magazine with this pistol. And I remember I had an attorney call me up. He goes, I think you may have the only mainstream available pistol in the state of Colorado after that law. And I was like, as a Second Amendment just fighter every single day in our industry, I hate it out there. As a business owner at KelTec, that's pretty wild to go through and see. So, but it's a phenomenal pistol.
Can I talk about the KelTec Sub 2000? That's actually one of my favorites.
Yeah.
How did that design come about? Because when I first saw that to me that was something that I was like, wow, I can fold that thing up. It's interchangeable with the I think it worked with the Glock mags and I think some other magazines as well too. So how did that design come about?
Yeah, and actually, we just released at the NRA show a couple weeks ago the Sub 2000 in 10 mil. Runs the Glock 20 mags. It is bad to the bone. But that gun came out of back in 1997, so when George did the Sub 9. So underneath the assault weapons ban, they banned a lot of stuff, but they didn't ban collapsible barrels. And so George wanted to have an ultra-great backpack gun out in the woods kind of platform. That's when the Sub 9 came about. And then in 2000, literally in the year 2000, changed the name over to Sub 2000. Started really picking up some steam in the early 2000s. And then in 2015, we went through and dropped the Gen 2, which is really what you see today. And then several years ago, we did the Gen 3, where you can not only fold it, but then that fore end goes through and rotates either direction. It's a full ambi setup. Goes through and collapses 16.15 inches long when it's folded up, goes through and runs on the 9 mil we have it, on the 5.7 we have it, and now the 10 mil.
And it's a tack driver.
Oh, yeah.
100 yards, That thing is an absolute tack driver.
Yep, and that 9 mil's got a Glock 19 grip, takes Glock 19 or 17 mags, so it's a great platform.
So the first time that it rolls off the assembly line, is it a situation where you have to draw straws to be the first person to put a round through the gun that folds up
Well,
multiple times?
There's a lot of different mounts and different protocols that we follow during those kind of procedures. But I will say, George, at 82 years old, I mean, the man is still designing every single day, and he will create a new design, and he will walk down to the range and then hold the firearm out, and he will shoot it to see if it works. And when it does work off of a new concept that nobody has ever seen, and that smile on that man's face is just unbelievable. And he comes up and he's like, "Yes, I think I got it to work." And you're like, "Holy crap! Like, this is going to be awesome." So
You know
So
what?
as long as he comes back,
y'all
you
should
know
do
it's
like
good.
a signature. Y'all should do like a signature George line or something with his next signature
I
on
think
it.
it's called KelTec.
well, yeah. We
Well, I
do
mean, I
have
know it's
it.
KelTec, but I mean, like with just his, you know what I'm saying, with and some of his like brand on it, because I think that'd be pretty cool to really to have in someone's collection.
Well, I go through and actually, he laughs at me because I have him sign an enormous amount of guns. Like, I'm always like, "Hey, this is a VIP or this whatever. Can you sign this?" I mean, I even had him sign my own personal guns. He's like, "Hey, Parker, what are you? You're my son-in-law. What do I have to sign this for?" I said, "It's artwork for me. Like, to
Right.
have it on the wall is a piece of art." So, but I do get him to sign it quite often. He'll sign the KSG and on the receiver side, and a big kind of cool silver or gold Sharpie, Trump style. Just
Right.
massive.
You know what I don't have? I don't have signed. I don't have signed KelTec.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll
I
sign
think
it
we
if I
need
do
to-
it,
guy.
Yeah.
Now, if I sign it, it doesn't really mean anything. It may decrease the value.
That's really cool, though. That is really, really neat.
Oh yeah, I'll get there's a chunk of signed KelTecs that are out there that are pretty cool to see. So
I
So
think
that means
that
can we get if we give you some KelTecs, you can get him to sign some for us?
I think we could get something here. We may need to put something on
if
the
we
wall.
could, yeah, man, if we could get a
all
signed
day long.
KelTec something on the wall in the
Oh, yeah.
studio, that would be
Oh yeah,
that would
we'll
be
get
super
something. I
rad.
got some cool magazines that he's done in the past and signed them for me. I can maybe bring
We're
those
still
in.
trying to decide on things to put on the wall, so we'll 100% put that on the
We
wall.
could put some signed KelTecs and stuff.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
And I'll still give you that photo of me, and I'll sign that photo.
You know what? I'll take. I've actually got some photos of you. Would you mind signing them?
oh Lord, oh Lord.
It really seems like Mr. George is a whole lot like Prince in the regard that I mean, if the family chose to do so, we could have 20 to 25 Prince. We could have a new Prince album every year for the next 25, 30 years, easy.
Really?
Yeah. It seems like he's active enough and he's interested enough and passionate enough about his baby and this brand that he founded that is it a situation where long after he's gone, there's still going to be
Oh yeah.
new George things that come along for you guys to pay homage that have his direct fingerprints?
Definitely. Well,
on
what's
them.
it's cool is like when they come up here, like they did this past weekend, and we're sitting in my office, and it's just he and I, and we'll put, he'll show me things on the TV that I got up in there, and it's stuff that you guys won't see for years.
Right.
And to be
I
able,
mean, we won't tell anybody if you want to show them to
oh,
us.
I know, but I'd get in big trouble for that one there. Bill could fire me again. But
That's
no,
for
yeah,
real
I
fire.
mean, you all will be able to go through and see for many, many years down the road different designs and concepts and all kinds of ideas that the industry has never seen before. And it'll be George Kelgren's fingerprints all over it. And then we've got just a great team behind him as well, and engineers and designers that also go through, like for example, the sub 2000 and the kind of the format and the rotating forend that you see.
Right.
Ryan Williams is one of our head engineers down in Cocoa.
Hey, listen, it's my fault, but we are late for the break like a period.
Good.
Let's catch this, and when we come back, we'll have a few more minutes with Parker and KelTec. It's the Breaking Bread crew. Talk on the 9-5. Back after this.
You're listening
Welcome back into the Breaking Bread Radio program. Talk 99.5, AJ, JD, your man, the Chub Father, in a few more minutes with Parker from KelTec. But right now, I would like to yield the floor to JD because he'd like to say a few words.
Thank you, Will, the Chub Father, cheeseburger extraordinaire. Parker, now, obviously, we have a gun store here, and the way we met is absolutely hilarious, and just by chance. But, originally. But I really cannot thank you enough for everything that you've done for us. I will tell everybody I don't think we deserve it. But if anybody ever asks me about KelTec, I absolutely tell them how awesome just you as a person are, the family, all the things, because, it really does blow me away. And it's one of those things that I'm incredibly grateful for, because not a lot of gun stores get the opportunity to talk and, have y'all so close and here and that sort of thing. It's absolutely amazing.
No, you're more than welcome. More than welcome.
Listen, if you are super passionate about Made in America, give KelTec another look. And if you're going to give KelTec another look, make sure you come give them a look right here at Redland Rifle Company, because we have a great selection.
Probably one of the biggest in the state.
You got a lot of KelTec here.
Yeah, we got and a great display.
And a great display.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Anytime you're free and available, you guys got something new. Like I said, you want to come do an unboxing and debut something to the world in front of our tens of listeners?
Do that, yeah.
We should do that.
All right, love everybody. For you, the people, we out. Peace.
Count on Talk 99.5 to keep you informed. Download our app. Listen live at talk995.com.
Hey, you know what we were talking about earlier?
Or tell your smart speaker.